Tonight was Tennessee's last regular season home game, and before the game started, they took a moment to celebrate its lone senior in Hunter Ensley. And as he walks from the dugout to home plate, accompanied by his parents and his girlfriend, you couldn't help but hear how loud the Vols fans were.
When I was a young guy here, I kind of wanted to be the guy that, got the standing ovations, like Evan Russell did, Drew Gilbert, Jordan Beck, those types of guys that were in front of me at the time. So pretty cool, just winning the fans over a little bit. I feel like I built a great relationship with the university and the fans and everybody kind of involved. So grateful that they're behind my back.
Stood by the easel with the iconic catch at center field in the College World Series, all the memories throughout his career came flooding back. And his favorite memory at Lindsey Nelson, it might be obvious.
Have to be Evansville, Game 3, one of my first practices here. It was when Kivett was still here. He was making all the infielders dance, only the first-year guys. So I was kind of taken off guard a little bit, watching some of my roommates dance on the field, and they were dancing terrible. It was Reed Metz is the guy I'm thinking of. But no, it was funny, and that's just a moment I'll never forget.
And shortly after the rain delay, the Tennessee coaching staff made the decision to make a defensive replacement with one Hunter Ensley out in center field.
I remember telling Colby I was going to take my time. Obviously, it could be my last, time playing center field in a game. I'm sure I'll get a few reps before postseason starts. But no, not really. Just kind of trying to soak in the moment and take a look around and look at everybody.
The team may call Hunter Ensley the grandpa of the team, and it's certainly a title that he wears with pride. And when I asked Coach Tony Vitello how different is he now in his final year in the orange and white as compared to how he was in his first practice or first time suiting up in the orange and white, you could tell deep down that he was always going to be that same person that they needed, that he was always going to be that player that brought the toughness.
Present himself the best way he could. He had a football injury, and he didn't even know it was there. I mean, he probably knew there was some soreness and stuff, but it affected his throwing and affected the rest of his game. So it was a lot of trials and tribulations at the beginning, and part of it is the root of who he is. He's a tough kid, and he was that on the football field, so it kind of stunted his growth a little bit right out of the chute. But I don't mean to speak for him. I'm willing to bet from this day in reverse, I don't know that he'd want to do it any differently. I think there's a couple mistakes he made along the way, not many of them. Some ones we have fun with now, but I don't know that he would want to do it any differently, and I don't know that I would want anything different from mine.
And that's that same type of toughness that oftentimes Tennessee's coaching staff will kick itself and how it didn't recognize that toughness earlier. Because after Drew Gilbert left before the MLB draft, the main question was who was going to be the person to replace him? Who was going to bring the toughness? And the answer was always Hunter Ensley.
The defining moment for him really was in 2023. We didn't think we had enough toughness as a team. And maybe as coaches, we should have evaluated our talent and known he was the center fielder from day one. But if we date back, you guys were questioning who's going to be the next center fielder, who's going to replace Drew Gilbert. And we didn't have a definitive answer. But we were in need more of toughness than we were a center fielder at that moment that he became the guy, and he's been that guy ever since.
But now it's on to Arkansas, and no series this season has felt more like a must-win than this final series of the regular season, especially when you look to them being on the cusp of hosting a regional, and that still being within grabs if they could clinch a series win on the road against a really tough Arkansas team. We'll have much more on that in this early turnaround for that Thursday to Saturday series coming up tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out.